All right, 8:33 right now, and Pix 11 is your local election headquarters. And earlier this morning, City Comptroller Brad Lander made it official. He is, in fact, running for Congress.
I love the people who make this city what it is. So, I'm running for Congress because the challenges we face can't be solved with strongly worded letters or high-dollar fundraisers.
So, Mr. Lander, taking on Dan Goldman to represent New York's 10th congressional district, which encompasses parts of Lower Manhattan and Brooklyn. And joining us now for a Pix 11 exclusive, Brad Lander. So thank you, Mr. Lander, for making this your first television stop after your big announcement. You said you would do it, you followed through, and here you are.
Good morning, Dan. I always try to live up to my promises, and especially to you and Hazel.
Yes, and you announced with quick endorsements from Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani, right? Senator Bernie Sanders is endorsing you as well, in a video that gives Mr. Rogers vibes, right? So your launch video targeted Dan Goldman without really saying his name. So why do you feel Mr. Goldman needed to be challenged, and why are you the man to do it?
Look, this is a five-alarm fire for our democracy. Donald Trump is abducting our neighbors every day, both at 26 Federal Plaza and now out in our neighborhoods, shredding our democratic institutions. And, I love this community. I've been fighting alongside my neighbors now for 3 decades for affordable housing, to stand up for immigrants and workers, to support our public schools. My neighbors want someone who's going to fight harder, who recognizes we have to fight like our lives are on the line, because they really are.
Yeah, in the launch video, you said that the mayor-elect can have an ally in Washington instead of an adversary in his own backyard. So why do you believe at this point in time that Mr. Goldman would be an adversary to the mayor-elect and not an ally in D.C.?
Yeah, look, the primary was the time for Democrats to debate who was going to be the nominee. I ran and then cross-endorsed Zohran. But in the general election, I thought all Democratic leaders should support our nominee for mayor over somebody who's a sexual harasser. And yeah, that's the kind of energy we need right now. We can't solve all our problems in New York City alone. We need fighters in Washington who will work together with the mayor to deliver that city that everyone can afford, and to stand up to what the president is doing.
Yeah, I still haven't heard you say Mr. Goldman's name. And the reason I'm focusing on this is because he has said that he had conversations with Mr. Mamdani, but that he is aligned on the affordability agenda, which is something you are also running on. So you don't think that Mr. Goldman would be an ally?
Democrats choosing not to support the Democratic nominee for mayor of New York City in a general election, I think that was a failure that showed that we need something different.
The seat has a crowded field, right, with many progressive challengers splitting the vote last go around. So do you anticipate this being a crowded field? Do you think that you will be the progressive candidate to challenge?
I believe I'm the candidate who can bring progressives and really Democrats across the district together. Thrilled to be launching with support from Mayor-elect Mamdani, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Jumaane Williams, the Working Families Party. That's the progressive coalition we need to fight back against Trump and make this a city everyone is welcome. Yeah,
you mentioned affordability, Mr. Lander, and in your ad and your announcement, you mentioned President Trump, right, clawing back that money that you yourself were able to get back as comptroller. But Mr. Trump has seemingly softened his tone on withholding federal dollars after this successful meeting he says he had with the mayor-elect. So do you believe that those federal dollars will continue to come in, and would you continue to fight for them, and how?
Absolutely. We can't solve all of our problems in New York City alone. We send a lot of tax dollars to Washington. Actually, as Comptroller, did a report on protecting New York City that detailed the $100 billion we send to Washington. We've got to get more of that back to fix up our public housing, to build new affordable housing like I did in the Gowanus area, where 9,000 new homes are going up, because we fought tough fights and brought people together.
Right now, Republicans do hold the majority. It's a slim majority. So if you were to win and Republicans are in power, how does that help or hinder the fight that you are going to be bringing to D.C.?
First, let's be clear. We're going to win the majority in November after the primary in June. I'll be working with people all around the country to make sure we do. And that means House Democrats would have more ability to do oversight against the crimes ICE is committing. And, right now I've got a trial in federal court.
Yeah.
I got arrested demanding access to the 10th floor detention facilities that a judge has said are cruel and inhumane. So I'm going to bring my neighbors with me. We're going to stand up and fight in the streets and do oversight in Congress. People are looking for Democrats now who will fight and not fold, and that's why I'm running.
Yeah, and you mentioned the endorsement of Mamdani and how key that was, right? And a Democrat not supporting a Democrat. But somebody like Hakeem Jeffries took a long time to finally endorse. Would you want Hakeem Jeffries to be the speaker if you were to win the seat?
We need to win that majority, and yes, I look forward to voting for Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker come a year from January. And then we've got to be a Democratic majority that will act more boldly, that will hold ourselves and our leadership accountable to fight the fights people are expecting against Trump's authoritarianism and the abduction of our neighbors, and to do better to deliver on affordability, housing, better jobs.
Yeah, you just answered the question I was going to ask about how do you see the Democratic Party moving and shifting with a new landscape and new priorities. So we're going to leave it there. I appreciate you making the stop here. I noticed you're not wearing the Mr. Rogers sweater that you mentioned in the ad, but will we see you be taking more sweaters on and off, Mr. Rogers style?
Won't you be my neighbor?
That's what I was hoping for. And we're going to leave it there. Mr. Lander, appreciate your time.